Empathy. I'm not picking on Professor Hendricks, okay? She was a very poor teacher, okay? She would go in there and dictate how she wanted to teach and what she wanted to teach, and when she tried to flunk you out of a class if you gave her a perspective she didn't like. I likened it to the fact when I explained it to the thing. The way she's treating me is like taking James Meredith to the closet at the University of Texas and telling him, here's your classroom for your legal class. We don't like you or want you here. We don't want to see you or hear what you have to put into the class. She was just like the people she didn't like. It was not cool. It was not fun. I did not like her. And like I said, at first I almost had a crush on her. She was really attractive, but she would use affirmative action. You know, I had other black professors in school that did the same thing. And I'll take you to a really neat lesson, which was Aunt Thella. My son Patrick has an Aunt Thella in Oklahoma. I haven't heard or seen from her stuff like that. I don't know how she's well or whatever stuff. I haven't asked. But she had a wonderful daughter, very intelligent, very sweet. Really, really did. I do like. Stephanie calls her Smedley. But they kind of had fun times in and out when they grew up together. And she's a very sweet girl. And I'm drawing a blank on her name right now. So sorry. I just have to go with Smedley. But what did she call Stephanie? I can't remember. It was funny. It was a cute nickname. They had cute nicknames for each other. But Thella told me a story when she said, man, I got my job and I worked really hard for my position. And a lot of people complain and bitch and say that I got my job because of affirmative action, that I don't deserve my position. It's just because I'm a black woman. And she goes, and that really pisses me off, Earl. I said, that would piss me off too, Thella. She goes, well, you know what pisses me off even more? She goes, what? I had this young black girl started working for me. She started taking hour-and-a-half lunches and all this shit until, well, we getting over. Why? Like that lady on the, you know, with the boobs in front of the thing. Oh, Mama's in the White House. We're going to have no bills and be able to run the electricity all night and just act completely foolish because we got a Negro in the White House and he's going to catch us up. So we can act stupid too? And Thella was like, no, you're going to come in here every day on time. You got into this position, so you're going to keep it and earn it. I don't like the stereotypes that they say about me getting my job through affirmative action, and I don't want you making it look like you got your job through affirmative action either, and people talking shit about me because of people like you. So you will show up on time, you'll take an hour for lunch, you'll get your ass back here, and you'll get to work, and you'll get the work done, and we'll get the work done on well, and we'll get it done on time. Do you understand me? And that girl was like, you got an attitude, you act like these white people. She said, if the white people are working and the black people ain't, then I'm going to work with the white people. Then consider me white. She was so cool. And don't piss me off. She was a very strong, forceful black woman. Aunt Thella just, man, we used to talk and have this conversation, and I just adore that woman. She would just, boom. She'd just go. And I was, Faith Hughes is her niece. Uncle June's daughter, and she was kind of raised in the same house with Thella, and I'm pretty sure Faith has a lot of that in her because you couldn't help but pick up that from Tanya. Tanya was her daughter's name. Married her at Wesley. I hope her and Wesley are still together. They met at Langston. But yeah, she had this in her, and she would just go. She don't take no mess. I don't take no mess. Mama don't take no mess. Mama don't. She's like Papa don't take no mess, but Mama don't take no mess. She's Aunt Thella, and she's a beautiful woman. I love that woman a lot. You know, I always did. When we went and stayed in Oklahoma, she was always telling me it's cute too. She'd sit there because a lot of times with my wallet, and she'd really, you better watch how you handle your wallet. Somebody knock you up over the head and take it. And I was like, I got, you know, not to be mean, but I kind of watch what I'm doing. I got kind of eyes in the back of my head, and if someone comes up to try to hit me, they just might get hit back. I'm kind of a quick, wiry, I'm a tough little son of a bitch. She just looked at me like, because I was like about $1.65. Yeah, I was thin. I was about 6 feet tall, about $1.65. She said, you can't. Hey, so many people will knock you out. I was like, I was surprised at that. Everybody used to do that with me. It'd be like, you know, and then they start describing me. I get in their face and they just must know something. Yeah, I do. I know that I'm not going to take any crap from you. I'm about ready to go off on you. I mean, it was like, what? Well, it's just the way I am. I got it from my father. He's a very cool person, and he told me about it with gunfighting. He said, you know, it's not the guy who's fastest on the draw. It's where the guy could sit there and aim and pow, pow, pow. The rest of the guys are all freaking out and scared. He could just, you know, and it takes a certain kind of individual to stare you down and go at it, and it's where you, hey. One of us, like I told you guys this story, but it bears repeating also. They were down by the Rio Grande, or I think it was the Rio Grande. It was a certain river. I'm not sure which river it was. You can tell me if it was in Tennessee. I can't remember if it was in Tennessee or if it was in Texas. But the water was coming down kind of rough, and Grandpa Frank and Donnie were swimming, and Donnie started going down, so Frank went to go save him. And Donnie came up from behind him and grabbed him by the neck, started pulling him under. And he yelled, you know, Frank, get up, and he goes, Ralph, you're going to have to come in and help us or we're going to die, you know, help. He's going to go down, he's pulling me under. And my dad was sitting there, I don't know, about maybe, I was maybe about 9, 10 years old. He wasn't real old, he couldn't swim. And he said to himself, you know, we're either all going to live together or we're all going to die together. And he just instantaneously jumped in. He had to punch Donald in the head so Frank could turn around, take both the boys and get them to shore. He punched him hard too. Donald was like, damn, you really knocked the shit out of me. I had to get you off, Dad. You were pulling him down. You were panicking. And they all lived together. So he knew we're either all going to die together or we're all going to live together. And the panic was killing him. And it was a cool head that decided we're either going to die together or we're all going to live together. So keep a cool head, and you can be like little Ralph on that riverbank and decide that we're all going to live together and help. Sometimes maybe your brother needs a good punch in the head. But it'll get him off Dad's back, and Dad will turn around and get you both out of there and save your lives. And so it's pretty cool. That's neat the way that metaphorically all kind of went together with this. It was kind of neat weaving today, wasn't it? We got some fellow Ralph and some Frank, and some Grandpa Frank, and some Uncle Donald was one of my favorite uncles. Real character, very funny man, very embarrassing man, extraordinarily embarrassing, very hillbilly, very redneck. I told you that one story that he told me about how he broke his neighbor's nose. He had a 40-gallon tank in the back of his truck, and he'd fill it up, and somebody kept stealing it. And finally, he decided, well, it's not my standard tank, so I'm going to show this son of a bitch. I'm going to put sugar in this tank. So whoever steals it, it's going to ruin their engine on their car. And he had been talking to his neighbor and telling him, you know, some son of a bitch is stealing my gas out of my supplementary tank. I fill it back up, and he takes it. It's really pissed me off. These kids are really pissing me off nowadays. And about 2 days later, the neighbor comes up and goes, I know what you're saying. These son of a bitching kids are just really taking it too far. Somebody put sugar in my gas tank. And Donald broke his nose. Bam! Hit him. Because he's confiding with this guy, and he's trusting him, and it's him still. You get it, okay? Donald was a character, man, but he was one of those type of guys, man. I told you about that. He'd go around barefoot or in sandals, and we went to Cielo Vista Mall one time, and he was sitting there peeing. He steps outside the truck door, and he's peeing, and the pee's getting on his feet, you know, and there's beautiful young Mexican girls coming up, and they were actually looking at me because I'm in El Paso, and I think, I'm not, and they're smiling, and he's calling me, "Oh, little Earl," and I'm like, please, Uncle Donald, don't act like you're with me. These girls are actually smiling at me, and you're sitting there peeing in the parking lot, and it's landing on your feet. And, oh, Dad, do I have to go to the mall to the store for Uncle Donald? But I loved Uncle Donald. He was funny. He was a character. He's very loving to his kids, but he just would do some shit that was real embarrassing. But it's your family. There's one like that in every family. I'm the Uncle Donald of our family. I'm not going to pee in the parking lot. He's going to go talk to people and tell everybody he's Jesus. No, Jesus is Jesus. I'm Ralph. I'm his nephew. It's totally different. It's embarrassing when you sit there and tell everybody, we're going to blow up the world and Jesus is going to come from the sky and save us. No, he's our uncle. Don't say that. You can't say that God is our uncle. He's a monkey's uncle? What are you? You're a jerk. It's simple relative math and relative understanding, stuff like that. Maybe that's why Uncle Donald was always so mad and out the box all the time, because maybe he understood some of this stuff and just decided to go try a little stuff to drink and some other things, because life was hard. Same with Uncle Jimmy. They used to drink, and Jimmy was a drinking kind of man. That's why my sister liked that song so much, because she liked Grandpa, and my Uncle Jimmy was very kind of an endearing guy too. And so I reminded her of that song, and I reminded me of him too. Jimmy was a drinking kind of man. It's a good song. I don't know if you can ever find it load it up or hear it, but it's good. I'm going to roll. I'm going to go get me some rest. We'll go load these up tomorrow, see what we play tomorrow, right? Blessings and peace.